If there's one skill you need to amplify in your life, it's teaching people how to treat you. Too often, we give people opportunity after opportunity to have access to us with no real consequences for their blatant disrespect. And no, ma'am, oh no, baby, we're not doing that this year. This is the year we stop romanticizing bad behavior and start calling things exactly what they are. Because we have goals to achieve and we do not have the mental capacity to waste energy trying to figure out why someone felt comfortable disrespecting us. Welcome to Confidence on Stilettos, where we talk our talk, set goals, choose peace, and still look damn good while doing it. This space is for my girls who are done overworking, overexplaining, and overextending because success doesn't have to feel heavy to be powerful. We're having real conversations about mindset, self worth, healing, purpose, and building a life that actually feels good. No fluff, no struggle. Just grown women at clarity with a little sass and a hell of a lot of confidence. So grab your tea, wine, coffee, water, or whatever, and let's talk confidence on stilettos. Hey, Boss Beauties, it's your confidence bestie, Ketta, and welcome to the first episode of 2026. Can you believe it? I know I've been gone for a minute and we're not even gonna you listen. I'm not gonna give you no excuses as to why I took a break. Just know your girl is back. And this is again the first episode of 2026. And I am so excited about everything I have in store for you this year. But today's conversation is a non negotiable, okay? We are taking our power back. And yes, you are in control of your life. That includes who you allow access to you, the environments you cohabitate in, what you watch, what you listen to, what you entertain, and what you tolerate. You are the CEO of your life. So, honey, again, you may be asking yourself, what does that actually mean for me? Okay. It simply means you hold the power and you are the only one who can give it away or allow it to be drained. Now, listen, Linda. Okay. I get it. This part can be a little tricky because here's the thing sometimes the people you need distance from are in your damn family. Ain't that something? That's crazy. Sometimes it's a friend, sometimes it's a business partner, sometimes it's actually someone that consider a stranger. Girl, because people just be walking up off the street nowadays, just giving unsolicited advice. Nobody asked you, nobody knows you. Get the hell out of my face, okay? Like that's how I be feeling. So, or you have people, okay, that gets way too comfortable projecting negativity on you and their fears and their life experiences on you. Like that is actually factual for your life. And honey, that's not definitively true for me. It may have been true for you and the people that you know in your circle, but for me and my family and the ones that I'm connected to, that I call it bullshit, okay? That's what I call it. I call it bullshit and I'm just gonna keep it moving. So when I say anyone, I mean anyone who consistently introduces doubt, fear, negativity, or hopelessness into your life, babes, you know what they have to do, right? They gotta go, okay? They have got to go. And just real quick, let me free you real quick. It does not need to be a big production. You don't need an announcement. You don't need a dramatic exit. You don't need a speech. Well, all you need to do is bless people with your absence. Silently leave. Girl, just go. Just go. What I want you to understand is protecting your peace does not require permission. Your peace, your sanity, your faith, your vision. You do not owe explanations to people who constantly assume the worst about you anyway. One thing that I do know is life is beautiful. It's people in unchecked access that you give people that make this experience dismal, okay? And I just, girl, don't get me to talking, okay? And don't get me started. So if you're feeling like life and people have let you down, if you feel stuck, drained, and unsure of how to move forward, girl, this episode is your sign. Because here are some things that I need you to do. I need you to get up, I need you to evaluate, and I need you to take your power back. What's your big goal for this year? I'm just asking. What is your big goal this year? Is it growing your income? Is it strengthening your mindset? Is it creating a more peaceful presence in your home? Right, rising, or should I say not rising, but just raising your vibration. All I want to say is whatever it is, just start. Silently remove yourself from people, environments, and habits that drain you and trigger the worst version of yourself. That is one thing I honestly want y'all to understand is that you can feel when something, some place, opportunity, you can feel when it's really not for you. You can feel it in your body. You can feel it in your nervous system. You can feel it. And so that's one thing that I really want to hone in on. I want you to understand that it's okay to go into an environment that you have no clue of what that energy may feel like and get into that environment and you feel your nervous system and your alarms in your nervous system start sounding off. At that point, you already know, okay, cool, I'm here. Take whatever you need to take, make your exit. And a lot of times when I get into situations like that and I may have a conversation with someone or I may be in an environment that since my alarm system's off like that in my nervous system, I know already definitively that, babes, I'm not going back to the, I'm not going to have dinner with these people again. I'm not going to go to, sit down and have a movie with them. I'm not going to the coffee shop with you. I'm not doing nothing, girl. When you call me, more than likely, I might just look at my phone and act like you're not even calling me. Because one thing that I have learned is my time is valuable. It is a precious commodity, and I will not waste it on people and environments that make me sick. Stop going into environments that make you sick spiritually, mentally, physically. Just stop it. I just want you to understand that this is your season. This is your season. And access to you should be earned and not assumed. So, as always, I like to leave you with some actionable steps to help you along the way. So, take what you will, the actionable steps that you feel would not help you, girl, you can just throw it out the window. But I'm just gonna lay it out here and you can do whatever you want with it, okay? So again, these actionable steps is simply based off of how to teach people how to treat you. So, number one, you want to audit your access. So, how you do that, you start asking yourself questions such as who consistently drains my energy? Who do I feel anxious or smaller around? That's a big one. I told you that nervous system tells you, right? That anxiousness feeling that comes from your nervous system. So, whenever you're feeling that, take stock of where you are, your environment, take stock of who you're around, take stock of the thoughts that's entering your mind. You want to take stock of everything. And then you also want to ask who only shows up when they need something. Girl, don't you know these people? You know the ones that contact you, they don't even ask you how you doing. They just go right into talking about them. They just go right into, oh, hey girl, or it's always a hidden agenda. They might call you and be like, how you doing? And you just be like, oh, I'm doing great. How are you? They waiting on that, how are you? So they can then come and be like, "Who child, girl? Let me tell you, girl. I hated to call you." When people start stuff like that, like I hated to do this, or girl, I hate to bother you, or girl, I don't know if you knew, but girl, I hate to tell you this. Like people that start their freaking conversations off that way, girl, you already know they don't really hate it. They don't hate to ask you for nothing. They didn't hate to get on the phone with you and already know they had a hidden agenda behind the reason they were really calling you. They wasn't really calling you to see how you were doing. You know what I'm saying? All I'm saying is awareness is the first boundary. That's what I'm saying. The second thing that I would say is to set clear internal standards. So decide beforehand how you expect to be spoken to. So how do you rate yourself? Or do you consider yourself worthy? Do you consider yourself enough? Do you consider yourself to be a respectful person? Because if the answer is yes to all of those, then that's what you need to be attracted back to you. And the ones who ain't got on that frequency with you yet, girl, they need to go. So just decide beforehand how you expect to be spoken to. Also, decide beforehand what behavior you will and will not tolerate. Okay. There's just certain things in my life that at the season I'm in now that I just do not put up with. I don't like people that lie. I don't like people who gaslight. I do not like people who are selfish around me. I mean, you can just feel a con artist and a selfish person. Their energy is just toxic. I do not like people around me that just automatically assume that they know me. Don't even really sit down with me on a daily basis and talk to me, but they just assume that, hey, this is who she is. So they think they can handle you a certain way until you check them. And then when you check them, you already know what happens when you check people who done overstep the boundary. Then all of a sudden they like to try and make themselves look like the victim. When in actuality, these boundaries and you checking people is letting people know that, hey, this is what I will not tolerate. You will not continue on the path that you're going and think that it's going to be okay and this is going to be a pleasant ride for you. Another thing that you want to decide beforehand, you want to just decide what disrespect looks like for you. We all have different definitions for different things in our life, different words, different things in our cultures. And disrespect is one of them. What I may not tolerate or I may not be accepting of, somebody else may be accepting of. Somebody else may not see that, that action or those words that someone said to them as disrespectful. Whereas with me, I know what level of disrespect, I know what actions is disrespectful. So I would say define all of this stuff beforehand. Because if you don't define it, people will test it every single damn time. They are going to test it. Trust and believe that. Okay, number three, you're going to stop explaining yourself. Yes, girl, you heard me. Girl, you be saying too much. You don't need to explain yourself. Boundaries don't need essays, is all I got to say. Okay. Boundaries do not need essays. Girl, you do not need to write that text message, that paragraph of a text message. You don't need to say it. No means no. Hey, can I borrow some money for X, Y, and Z? No. Mm-mm. Nope. No is what we call a complete sentence. And silence is powerful. And distance is clarity. And that's all I got to say. Number four, honey, is a match energy with action, not emotion. So you know how people always be like, "Girl, what is it that they mostly be saying? Oh, I'm match your energy." Like I don't match energy. I take action. I'm an action taker, okay? That's what I am. I don't have time. If somebody is already low, I'm not gonna. If I'm a high vibrating person, I'm not going to lower my vibration to come down to match your energy, baby. So I know I do not match energy. I take action. So where a lot of people want to argue and they may initiate a conversation with you um already with the idea that there is going to turn into an argument or they want an argument. I do not argue with I don't argue with people. I say what I need to say and I keep it moving. I don't try and convince people to get on the same bandwagon with me. I do not try and convince people to believe in the ideas that I have, to believe in my goals, to believe in anything. I'm not trying to convince you of anything, baby. I'm living my life for me and you live your life for you. So that means I'm not trying to prove myself. I'm not trying to prove myself to you. There is only one individual, one spirit that I'm trying to prove myself to, and that's God. So if someone crosses a boundary, you just simply remove access. Consistency teaches louder than words. Okay. So it's something that I was teaching my daughter about a particular scenario that came up in her life recently. And it was a level of disrespect. You know, it's somebody who was talking to her out of pocket and they don't really know her. They don't really have a relationship with her to be able to approach her in the way that they were approaching her. And I told her, yo, honey, we don't match that level of energy because I raise my kids not to match energy. I raise my kids to be action takers. I'm trying to do my best with raising them to have emotional intelligence and have emotional discipline. And when people disrespect you and show you who they are, I always tell them just believe who they are. Believe the person that showed up to the party. Believe it. And then at that point, what is the action that you're going to take? If this person disrespected you, yes, you can let them know absolutely what you said, what you did is disrespectful. Once you say your piece, you can silently move. You don't have to get loud. You don't have to argue. You just silently go on about your life, remove access where they could have had a beautiful relationship with you. They decided through their actions that they were going to be disrespectful, and she decided through her actions she was going to remove herself from the situation and shut down access. And I commend her for that. So yes, I mean, we all have to learn to do this. It's just too many scenarios in my own personal life, in my own life, going back to the younger me, the younger version of myself, where I would just, I would match energy. I would match energy, and it's a waste of time. It's a waste of time. You never feel good afterwards. You keep dwelling on the same conversation, saying what you, girl, I would have said this. Oh, girl, you should have said that. Oh, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I just don't match it. I recognize the thing for what it is. And then I decide how am I going to move? I define it. Was that disrespectful to me? If the answer is yes, I'm going to address it the way that I would address it. And I'm going to, all right, girl, let me go ahead and move on to number 5 because I'm not trying to make this a long behind podcast. You know, I do not like these episodes to be long, but sometimes they do. Okay, hello. So, number 5, protect your environment. So, you want to curate what you listen to, what you watch, who has daily access to you, what conversations you participate in, because your environment shapes your mindset. And that's just really self explanatory. That is cut and dry. I don't think I need to elaborate on any of that. What you listen to, what you see, what you give access to in your life, the conversations that you participate in, again, this is all a reflection of who you are and what you will reflect back to you. So you do with that with what you will, okay? But that's all I got to say about that. And number six, you want to choose peace over familiarity. So just because someone has always been around doesn't mean they deserve to stay. I'm gonna say it just a little bit louder because I don't think I reached some of the people in the back of the room, maybe in the back seat of your car if you listen to me in the car. But just because someone has always been around doesn't mean they deserve to stay. Growth requires separation sometimes, and that's just okay. Sometimes when I'm going in a season, I know that God is gonna like isolate me to grow me. I just start I just start feel like losing interest in certain people. I start losing interest in certain things. There is a prayer or a small prayer that I say every day, and all throughout the day. And I just really ask God to remove people and even things that present as opportunities from my life if they were not sent by Him. And when I say this little mini prayer, this little mini affirmation to myself, it's just so funny how God works. Because when I say it, I believe that that's exactly what He's going to do because I'm asking Him for that. And I start losing interest in certain things, certain people. Um, Things may come up like if an opportunity presented itself and it's not really going to be beneficial to me or it's going to take me down a different path that I shouldn't go. I just something happens where it doesn't flourish. And that's why I mean, there's things that you just need to implement in your life. For me, because I am a believer in God and in Jesus Christ, I am a praying person. I pray multiple times a day. Um, and when I say I'm praying, I'm not like praying like these long-winded prayers. Those long-winded prayers typically for me comes for me like in the when I first wake up and then when I'm getting ready to go to bed. But throughout the day, I'm saying small prayers. I'm saying miracles are happening all around me. Miracles are happening to me. I'm saying I'm the CEO of my life. I'm saying my peace is non-negotiable. Access to me is earned. This is my season. These are things that I'm like affirming and silently praying to myself. And I'm getting specific to the goals that that I have on my radar to achieve this year. So I would just recommend the same thing for you. So, yes, I wanted to just come on real quick. I know this was the first episode, but I just really wanted to start off this year with the topic of just teaching people how to treat you because that is going to take you way further than anything else in this season, in this climate that we're in. Is I'm seeing a lot of people being very disrespectful. I'm seeing a lot of people that think that they can say whatever they want to say to you and that that's going to be okay. And some people, they give people opportunity after opportunity to disrespect them. And what happens when you're with an abuser? When you're with an abuser and they may start off with shoving you at first and you give them a pass with it. They say, I'm sorry. You let them back in. You give them another opportunity. They shove you again. Right then, you're setting the stage for them. And you're telling them what you're communicating to them is that it is okay to disrespect her as long as I apologize. She's going to let me back in. I don't believe in that. Your girl don't believe in that, okay? What I believe in is knowing what is disrespectful to me. And when someone crosses that boundary of disrespect, addressing it in a very calm manner, but a very assertive energy. And then I simply remove myself. That's it. That's it. That's all. And speaking of that's it, that's all. That's it. That's all that I got for y'all today. So, yes, if this resonated with you in any type of way, share this podcast with family and friends if you feel that it would help them in the season that they're in now. And as always, if you have not followed me yet on the social media, I'm going to need you to go ahead and do that. So we are on Pinterest on Confidence on Stilettos. We are on Instagram on confidence _on _stilettos. And we are on Girl the Ticket to Top with Confidence on Stilettos. So with that being said, yes, don't forget to go and visit the Confidence on Stilettos website and get your merch. We do have journals on there if you would like to purchase a journal. So that is at www.confidenceonstilettos.com. Make sure you subscribe to Confidence on Stilettos on YouTube so you never miss a conversation that helps you step deeper into your confidence, clarity, and your power. And also, girl, don't forget to leave a review. Your feedback helps this message reach more women who are ready to level up. So remember, Boss Beauty, you are confident, you are capable, and you are always allowed to choose peace and ease. Until the next time, stay grounded, stay glowing, and stay empowered.